Welcome, everyone. I'm Sue Barber, author, former IT director for a Fortune 500 company, turned executive coach, and this is the Visibility Factor podcast, where we explore how to raise your visibility and play bigger at work and in life. We'll explore key topics and welcome guests that help you shift your thinking about yourself so you can see new possibilities for your leadership. I'm on a mission to create a visibility movement for leaders to show their value and be seen for their true talent. Are you ready to take the next step towards a higher level of visibility for yourself? Let's go. The Visibility Factor podcast is brought to you in part by the 90-Day Visibility Breakthrough Accelerator Program. Do you believe deep down inside that you can have a bigger career, but you don't know how to get there? You can keep doing what you're doing, but what if there is a better way that could accelerate your progress? This 90-day program is a powerful experience that is unique to you and provides dedicated time to focus on your specific challenge. It gives you the time to develop big ideas and plans to execute them, including the tools, resources, and motivation needed for success. Hundreds of clients have used this same program to take them to the next level in their career and to create a better life. Join me in a 90-day experience that focuses on challenges like creating a strategic plan, how to lead an organizational change, or prepare for a career transition. This dedicated time will help you see new possibilities, recognize your strengths, and take away key insights that can be leveraged immediately. Are you ready to create a breakthrough for yourself? If you're interested in learning more, visit susanmbarber.com/visibility breakthrough accelerator for more information and to sign up for the program. I look forward to seeing you there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Visibility Factor podcast. This is Sue Barber, your host. Happy 2024. I can't believe that we're back. I can't believe that this has already been a new year. And I know we're only a few days in, but I wanted to spend a little time with you just focusing on what do you want in 2024? Let's spend a little time today designing that for you. Think of this as like a mini workshop. And I'm going to give you some questions and some ideas and some inspiration that I hope just gives you some things to think about at least. For me, I spent a lot of time, as I mentioned in the last episode, reflecting on 2023, and I'm excited to share a lot of things that I'm doing in 2024 with you. But today's episode, we're just going to start to think about what you want to do in 2024. So I talked about creating a dream life in the previous episode, and dreaming big is something that I just don't think we do enough of. We're too busy. We don't have time for that. But instead, what if we spent time at least thinking about what we want to do to make ourselves happy and some things that might fulfill us in a bigger way? So let's focus on some ways to help you design the 2024 that is what you want and will bring you joy. Now, I like to start with the basics. So do you know your values, priorities, and potential goals that you want to accomplish? It's okay if you don't have those, but we're going to start to talk about those things. And I'm going to share a few of mine with you. And maybe that inspires you to think about your own. I do have a values exercise. If anybody would like it, feel free to send me a note and let me know, and I'd be happy to share that with you. So values are something that we have at our core, right? They help us make decisions. I like to think of them as a compass. They help us guide our decisions, what we do, what we don't do, who we associate with. It's a way for us to really kind of leverage those throughout our day, in our career, and in our life. So I wanted to share what I did in 2023 to help me gain some clarity around those things. So my values are inspire trust and vulnerability, believe in possibilities, create genuine connections, and show up with courage and take imperfect action. Now, I aligned those a bit with my business because I wanted to set business values. I'd never done that before, so it was kind of fun to do that. But I realized there are really a lot about me, right? I'm the only person other than my virtual assistants who work in the business. And so it would make sense that they're aligned with me. So let me share a little bit more about what those 4 values mean. Inspire trust and vulnerability. Be transparent, open, and authentic. Combine honesty with empathy. Leverage self-leadership and ensure that our actions match our words. Rely on self-trust and intuition. Model vulnerability and be the example for others. The next one is believe in possibilities. Focus on positive outcomes and assume the best in others. Be visible and play bigger every day. Bring high energy and joy to the conversations that we have. Create a culture of purpose, fun, and experiences that engage. Create genuine connections. Serve with value and ensure high customer satisfaction. Surprise and delight clients. Build long-lasting relationships. Believe in our clients and their success. Support our clients throughout their journey. The last one, show up with courage and take imperfect action. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Challenge the status quo and make smart decisions. Experiment and take risks. Learn through trying and collaborating with others. Work together to solve problems and fast adapt solutions. Now, this was such a valuable exercise for me to go through because it forced me to think about what really matters. What do I care about in the business? How do I want to show up for clients, for myself? What do I want to show, externally on social media and when I have conversations? It's a great reflection to go through. I also put together a vision and a mission for the business, and I wanted to share those with you here too, because they're big, right? And I know they're big, and I'm excited that they're big, but I'm hoping it might inspire you to think about maybe something you want to do that's big. So the vision is to be a part of a world where leaders who struggle with amplifying their voice are empowered to break free from their limitations, step into their greatness with confidence, and make a lasting visible impact in the world. The mission is to broaden the understanding of what visibility means and enables for business leaders. I want them to be seen, but if they struggle to find their voice and believe in their value, we want to help them. We want to see them for who they are and the value that they bring. We want to help shift the narrative about themselves to show them what they can achieve, to build confidence and amplify their impact as a force for positive change, both at work and beyond. We enable our customers and clients to grow and transform. We want them to have clarity, shift their identity, influence win-win outcomes for them so that they can start to grow and change and make a valuable impact in the world. That is what is important to me for my company and the change that I'm trying to make happen in a bigger way. So do you have a bucket list of things that you want to do? Future goals that you want to achieve in your career and your life? Have you written them down? It is so powerful to take pen to paper and write them out. So don't let the blank page overwhelm you, but I'm going to give you some ideas to hopefully make this easier. So get your notebook and write these questions out. They'll also be in the show notes for you if you want to see them there. The first one, write down the sentence, I might want to do these things this year. It takes away the pressure to say, I might want to do this, not that I'm going to do this. I might want to do these things this year. It helps our brains not make it perfect. You can decide later if you actually want to do those things or not, but keep it simple with no pressure. We do this when we write our books. We may have a moment where we see a blank page to type on and we just feel like we don't know what to say. And so we start off with a prompt that's very simple, like, I just want to write about this today. Just very open, general, but it helps you just start to type some stuff out. And that's the goal, is to just start moving forward and take action. So for me, that's so helpful sometimes when I'm stuck. So I hope this gives you an idea for you to think about, that you could write down and just write whatever comes to mind. The second one is, I'm 80 years old and I'm so glad that I did blank. Fill in the blank with all the things that you want to do. It's always easier to look back and see what you hope you would have done. Don't have regrets by not taking the time to focus now. The next one, if I could get out of bed and do these things every day, I would be so happy. Capture them all down. Don't put a filter on them. Just put whatever comes to mind for you. It could be work-wise, it could be personal, whatever it is. Get big with it. Make sure that you are getting out of your comfort zone a bit so that you can see what's possible. The next one, my dream day would include, and then literally write out what you would do in a dream day that is yours to create. Nothing is off the table. You can think about day by day, hour by hour, what you would do. And it's an inspiring way to start to show what you care about, where you want to spend your time. When I did this exercise, when I looked back on it later, I realized I kept creating the same ideal day multiple ways and multiple times. I think we all inherently know what we want. We just have to take the time to write it out and then start to become that person who has that. The next one, what are 5 great experiences that you have had in your life? Write out 2 to 3 sentences for each of these different experiences, and then identify what are some key themes that you can see based on what you wrote down. I think it's really interesting because it's sometimes the people you're with, sometimes it's how you felt in the moments, sometimes it's where you were. These are all things that are going to help give you clarity to create more of what you want, and you can start to create those things now. The last one is, if you were to just brainstorm and come up with 5 ideas, very out of the box ideas, write down whatever comes to mind and know that there's nothing that is too crazy that you might want to do. You can use Post-it notes, you can use a journal, you can use an app on your phone or a whiteboard. You don't have to just use a notebook, but I think it's important to just start to capture these ideas when they come to you. And that's why I want to give you other options and ways to do that, because you might be in a store, you might be in the car, you might be somewhere else where you don't have a notebook handy, but capture the ideas. It's very simple. Keep it simple. I challenge you to do this today. Come up with something that's big for you. Don't complicate it. Don't make it more challenging than it needs to be. Just keep it simple. Because I think when people hear the word goals and things that I want to achieve, they start to make it complicated. They start to think about all the things that have to happen for me to achieve that goal. We create a list of 1,000,000 milestones instead of just thinking, how could I do this in the simplest way? So let's make this fun, right? Let's not make it complicated. Think about what gives you energy, what makes you feel creative, and just start. Go someplace that you love to be in. Maybe that's a park, maybe that's a favorite place that you visit. But think about something that isn't necessarily a workplace, but somewhere that you can brainstorm even for 10 to 15 minutes. That's all you need. Don't come up with a bunch of excuses on why you can't do this. Take time at lunch, on your commute, while you're working out, or in between meetings. I promise you, there are very big ideas that come to you all the time. And if you don't pay attention to them, they're just going to float away. Don't let 2024 pass without at least trying one of these ideas. You can do so much more than you realize, but you need to prepare for it. So you can do this by yourself, or some people I know do this with their families, because there may be family goals that you want to achieve, maybe trips or travel that you want to do, or even in terms of retirement or things that you want to accomplish, having a second home. There are different things that each person may want. And it's a cool way to start to see, oh, this is what they want to do. How can I help support them so that they can achieve that goal or achieve that dream for themselves? So spend the time doing it for yourself, and then maybe come and talk to your family members about what is on your list and compare. When you do this, it also starts to shed some light for you on where you want to spend time in your career, how you want to spend your time, what you want to do. So I want to ask you some questions here. Are you doing what you love? Do you want to get out of bed, like I mentioned earlier, every day to go do this? Are there changes that you want to make? We all have the opportunity to make change happen. We just need to take that first little action step to do it. And I think sometimes we tell ourselves a story that we can't because someone won't let us, but there's always a way. There's always a way through that obstacle, whatever that is. What fulfills you? Do you know? Do you know what really fulfills you and makes you happy, brings you joy? Have you ever taken the time to ask yourself that? Think about something that you do that you just feel like time passes so quickly you don't even realize how long it's been. Let's leave out the social media angle of this, but something that you do that just really makes you happy. That's something that is bringing you joy, that's making you happy and fulfilling you. So try to do more of that. What could you do to make a bigger impact? Maybe this is for you in your career. Maybe it's for your team. Maybe it's for your family. Maybe it's for a bigger purpose that you might have in the world to make a difference for people. There are so many opportunities out there to take advantage of, and just think about what you could do to make that happen. So I mentioned purpose. Spend some time thinking about that. What is the bigger purpose that you want to achieve? I think we're all here for some reason, right? So what are we doing with our time? It doesn't mean you have to focus on it nonstop. But if you think about, my purpose is to help people understand how to use their voice, gain confidence, learn about visibility. That's what I feel like my purpose is, to help leaders grow and become better leaders. What is your purpose? It may be something in your career. It may be a side thing that you do that really just lights you up. It may be making music. There's so many things that could be possible for you. Think about what your purpose is and what you want to achieve with it. And then the last one, are you living up to your potential? I think so many people, unfortunately, don't think about a lot of these things, don't take time to reflect, and they're kind of running on automatic pilot. They're not spending the time trying to figure out how to make their life better. And they get the choice to do that. But I think that they don't realize that. They think that, things are being done to them instead of for them. And I want you to spend the time. If this is something that you haven't spent time on before, I hope you'll take advantage of it. I hope that you'll spend the time just thinking about these things for yourself, for your family, for your career, and really make sure that you're living up to your potential. There are a million questions that I could share with you. So let this be a starting point. What can you capture in this process? What can you reflect on? Reflect on it and decide if there's something there that helps you see what you want. It may be a theme that helps you see something that you never expected before. You may be surprised. So identify one next step for each of those things, whatever that list is. If it's 1, 2, 3, 5 things, whatever that is, come up with one step that you're going to take out of each of those. Don't make it complicated. Keep it simple. Just one small step. It doesn't have to be big. I think when we think about goals, we make big actions to go with them, which then holds us back from doing something. And I took a class with Susie DeVille, and she really focused on how can we just do one small thing. And I loved that because it gets you out of perfection. It gets you out of making it a mountain when it's just something tiny that you can do. So don't overcomplicate it. It helps you be motivated. It helps you move forward. And then maybe you can do the next thing. In today's visibility action step, I want you to create a list of 100 dreams. You might think, wow, 100 dreams? But I want you to think about 100 things, 100 dreams that you have, things on your bucket list. What do you want to accomplish in your life? And it's okay if you only get to 54. I want you to just start, because when you start to think about things in terms of dreams and that you have, that you want, you could create that list and they actually might happen. You can start making some things happen in your life or tell other people you want them and they may be able to help you too. This idea comes from a book called The Dream Manager, and it's a great book if you want some inspiration. It's a story of a company that helped its team members attain their dreams. They wanted them to get their dreams and they helped them do it. So it's a really great book to just get inspired by and motivated by. But for you, I'm hoping that this episode gave you some ideas. I hope 2024 is kicking off in the best way for you. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Visibility Factor podcast, and I look forward to catching you on the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to the Visibility Factor podcast. Remember that visibility starts with small steps that are intentional and consistent each day. Be bold, be visible, be the leader you were meant to be. Find us and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you listen to podcasts. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, which are highlighted in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Visibility Factor podcast.